Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Flying and Eating. Today, let's go somewhere and do something, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey guys, it's Adam here. On today's adventure, I'm currently in Chicago and I'm going somewhere brand new. A brand new part of America that I have never been to for a brand new year. This is my first trip of 2022. We're going down to St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, a little backstory on me. By the time I was 13, I had been dragged one way or another to all 50 states. As far as territories go, I've been to 2 of the 5, and I've never been to any of the 17 or 18, whatever it is, minor outlying islands. Those don't really count. But of the 5 populated territories, I've been to 2. I've been to Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. But ironically, the easier ones, like the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, I've never been to. But today, we're going to change that. We're going down to St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we'll see what kind of adventure we can have. The other one's American Samoa, by the way, for people checking Google.
It is a new year, and it is time to fly. You guys know the rules for me. I'm going to skip all that, and I'm going to head over to the clear lane. Got the security, no problem. Little pro tip, because I'm going to a tropical island, and therefore I wanted suntan lotion. You know, the TSA has rules about liquids. Take them out, separate them, put them in a little bin thing, and then let people, like, scan them individually, and usually they're like, ah, whatever, and they move on. It is a very gray, gross day. I am looking forward to the beach.
I found this just incredibly serendipitous.
Thank you.
And I have arrived. I'm actually now at my hotel room, sweaty because I walked over from the airport to the hotel. I didn't feel like paying for a cab. There was no reason. It's not that far. Anyway, so yeah, sorry I didn't get you much footage of the airport, but customs process, even though this is American, because of COVID, they have extra tests and you have to stop here and you have to do this and this. So it's not really a great opportunity to stop and film anything. So whatever, and it's nighttime here now, so there really wasn't a whole lot of great opportunity for footage. Doesn't matter, I'm here, and so my evening is going to have one little goal. I'm going to go out and find something to eat, and I found it's New Year's Day, so there's not a whole lot of stuff open, but there's this Caribbean-themed place up the street. Sounds like that is perfect. Well, my restaurant of choice is closed. I wanted to try Mi Casita restaurant, but not an option right now, I guess probably because New Year's Day. Google says it's open, but obviously it's not. So we'll have to see what we can come up with. So just some kind of casual observations about this place, you know, first impressions, because as I said, this is one of the few parts of the U.S. I've never been to in any way, shape, or form, so it's just kind of interesting to get the first vibe. Lots of music, just kind of constantly playing around. Granted, that makes sense, it's a touristy type of spot. Interesting thing that I was warned about and totally forgot about in the event that I choose to rent a car. As far as I'm aware, this is the only part of the United States that drives the way, say, Europe and the UK and Japan do, and Australia, that being on the other side of the road. But the reason that's particularly strange is, well, the cars are still American style, like with the you know, the wheel on the left, but you're now driving on the other side of the road. So it's this strange combination that I don't know exactly what that would be from, because this used to be property of Denmark, but that was last in 1917, and I don't really think we were driving too much back then. So I don't really know, but that's kind of an interesting little observation. I'm now back in my hotel. I was hoping to go find food somewhere to like actually eat, but again, New Year's Day, there wasn't a whole lot of choices. But I found one place, but they were takeout only, which is fine at this point, so I went ahead and got it, so we're gonna go ahead and take a look at it. What I ended up getting was something called a churrasco, which I guess is some, it's a very regional thing. It's basically a way of cooking a steak, but it also comes with some sides. So let's take a look at it. First attempt to see here. Boom. There's the steak. And over here we have wedge-style fries and plantains. Looking forward to diving in. So far, so good. I've had the plantains. They taste like plantains. I've never been a big fan of plantains, but I figured I just kind of had to do it. The wedges, these are actually really good. And I haven't had the steak yet, but again, there it is. I can't quite put my finger on it, but this tastes it's very good. Let me put that out there. But it tastes like a certain type of steak I've had before. I must have had this at some point because this is kind of bringing me back. Man, flavors, taste buds, all that stuff. It's interesting the muscle memory you get out of that. Good morning! It is day 2 here on St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Right now, there's not really any great plan. I'm gonna head over to the French Quarter. There's a little French bistro type of section, or French Town, I think is what it's called. I'm gonna go to this place, see what I can find, and then after that, I'm gonna head over to the other side of the lagoon and just see like what's over in the more touristy areas. We'll see. I don't know. There is no plan. As a Chicago native, I found something that makes me feel very much at home. I believe the locals call it McDonald's. So we are officially in French Town, hence you can see the French flag back over there. And there's the water. Nice lookout over at the bay. I'm going to eventually make my way out there towards that cruise ship, I think. I think that's basically my plan. Man, the weather's so nice. It's great sea breeze and everything. It's beautiful out here. It's really nice to... I know this is just kind of bizarre for me because this is the first time... You have to understand, I've been to like every part of the United States, save from basically the territories. So to add a new one, this is all brand new to me. I've never been here before. This is just really cool to me. So I hope you guys get something out of this if you ever decide to come down here. I want to remind my fellow Americans, you have a much bigger country than you realize, and there's so much of it. Every type of geography, every type of topography, everything you want to experience. Consider yourself very lucky if you are an American because you have every option, including the obscure. You have another tropical beach paradise a couple hours south of the mainland, and nobody ever comes here. I mean, relatively speaking, I think most Americans just choose Florida or they choose Hawaii, but they forget that they have this. Not to mention Puerto Rico. I'm not currently prepared to get in the water, but I figured I should at least touch it. Ooh, water, I touched the ocean. Alright, so I wouldn't eat pizza here because I'm a pizza snob, obviously, but I gotta give them props. That is an unbelievable name for a pizza place. So we found it. This is what we're looking for. Now, hopefully it's actually open. So far, so good on the credit cards thing. I don't know if I mentioned this. I really hate paying with cash for everything. I'm very much pro credit cards. And I was kind of warned in advance, there's a lot of places that only take cash here. So I brought some, even though I hate doing that. But I will say one of the advantages of the pandemic, you know, there's a lot of places that have just been like, it's just safer to use credit cards and digital currency. I think I'm leaning towards this. This is also the same thing he recommended. So the forces are telling me maybe go with the fried chicken and waffles. I'm not gonna lie though, the savories are tempting. He told me these are basically like little desserts, so maybe don't get those as your meal, but these are meals. And normally I wouldn't think savory crepe is a meal, but the one in Montreal changed my mind. So my food has arrived and I'm kind of stunned because it really did not take long. Like I ordered the food, I turned on a song on my iPod, the song's 2 minutes in and the food's here. I was like, wow, okay, I was like shocked. Anyway, so we'll see how this goes. The service was unbelievable. It was probably a little better than the food itself. The food itself was good, but I'm more just stunned how quick everything was and how efficient. I liked that a lot. The food, like, you know, the waffle part, it was a waffle, it was chicken. It was actually, so here's the thing that stunned me though. First of all, I don't have a great basis of comparison for chicken and waffles because it's not something I've eaten a whole lot of in my life, despite my appearance. But lots of chickens and roosters and stuff around. So at least you know the chicken's fresh. Okay, so here's the thing. I hate bell peppers. Hate them. I think they're disgusting. I know, controversial, whatever. They put them in there, which I was like, oh crap. But occasionally a couple get into the potatoes and you're eating it and you're like, wait a minute. It like blew my mind. They were like amazing. I don't know what they were doing, that their bell peppers were just bomb. I would never in a million years have thought the best part of any sort of food I was ever gonna have was the bell peppers. Hey, try new things, what can I say? So just a brief little history for anybody who's curious about why America even has these. Super long story short, all the European powers kind of took control of all these islands like hundreds of years ago. And around the time of World War I, Denmark needed cash, and the US was interested in buying these islands for their own territorial purposes, mostly because we didn't know if we were going to need them later for bases or whatever ended up happening.
And so we bought them for, at the time, $25 million, which roughly today would be like $500, $600 million. And we haven't done a whole lot with them, at least like militarily or any of that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just, they aren't a state. They aren't part of Puerto Rico. They're their own separate territory. And I believe the third most populated territory, although I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure it's Puerto Rico, Guam, U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, and then the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. At least that's my guess. But right there, you can obviously see the American flag on the left, Danish flag on the right, and the U.S. Virgin Islands flag in the center. I thought it might also be prudent to discuss what the process of getting here was like. Pre-pandemic, not a big deal. If you're an American citizen, you don't even need a passport. This is America. You don't need anything special. With the pandemic, they've added extra restrictions. Basically, you need an a negative test to say you don't have COVID. Fortunately, this is one of the few places where they actually accept a rapid test, not the PCR, which is really great because at the time of this recording, I went out and I took three tests because I needed one to get here. I took one at the time we're recording this, like 4 days ago. I still haven't received the results. Another one I took 3 days ago, still haven't received the results. The rapid test, I was able to receive it in like 6 hours, and thank God they accepted that because whatever. So once you have that, you have to register all that with both your airline as well as with the U.S. Virgin Islands itself, letting them know you're coming. They look at all of that, they look at your information, and then they send you like a green QR code that basically says, okay, you're good. Then you resubmit that to the airline, and they say, okay, you're good. So there's a lot of extra checks and stuff that didn't used to exist, unfortunately. It's actually the same reason I didn't pick other places, because I wanted to go somewhere warm, somewhere nice, somewhere I hadn't been. This was the easiest bet, because it's still America, so there's less stuff you have to deal with. Whereas a lot of other places are like, oh, because of the pandemic, like other countries that are in the Caribbean are like, yeah, all the same process is required, but you have to do even more. It needs to be PCR, and you have to buy all this medical insurance and all sorts of stuff, and it's just like, I'll just add a new piece of America to my list. So just stumbled across this, something called The Shops. Clearly like some sort of mall, although it looks like a lot of the stores are just not operational anymore. But interesting little area. This is cool. It's got a little bit about biplanes in the U.S. Virgin Islands with a little VI flag on the back. Neat. Apparently this one is a 4-time winner of the Super Yacht Marina of the Year, which actually kind of, to be honest, makes sense. I mean, right when you get off this, it definitely feels like you're in, I mean, you've always been in America, but it feels like America, because the second you get off it, it's just malls and stores and stuff. The attitude, like, really changes, which again makes sense. It's people coming in on these big ships, and they just want to stay near the ship and just go buy things really quickly. So this is that area for anybody who was curious. So when you leave the little shops or whatever, you come out here. I guess these doors close, these big gates, around like 6 o'clock, which doesn't affect me right now, but yeah, we're gonna wander up to the edge of this pier and just kind of see what else we can find. Oh, look, a sushi bar! So something to point out, while gambling is mostly illegal in the states, there's only a few states that do it legally. Nevada, Illinois, parts of New Jersey, I think there's a few others now. In most of the territories, it's actually completely legal. Like here, hence you see those. Also, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, I know it's legal. I don't remember if that's the case with Guam, and I don't know about Puerto Rico or American Samoa, but yeah, it's another source of revenue. So in this case, go to a casino, lose most of your money, get a depression sandwich at Subway, and then try again at the other casino. So on this side, they have this little like trolley type of thing. I don't even know what you really call that. And it takes you up and over the mountain. I don't know, normally that's not the type of thing I do, but I think that might be kind of neat just to get other cool views. We are officially on board the gondola, rising up in the air. Apparently this ride takes about 5 minutes, which sounds good to me. And you see a bunch of random stuff there. Get you some other shots in a minute. But I also brought the Sega Pluto along because I'm a lunatic. One of those islands, although I'm not sure which one, is the kind of unsung U.S. Virgin Island water island. I know that you can't really, maybe from up here somewhere, but you can't really see St. Croix, like in general, just because it's too far away. We'll see what else I plan to do. I would like to go to both St. John and St. Croix on this trip. but I don't know. We'll see. It's easier to get to St. John, but St. Croix, like, I would have to be a little bit trickier. But nonetheless, there you go, guys. This is a 5-minute trip, and you get to go up here. There's a bunch of bars and restaurants and things. It seems pretty cool. This is a kind of a little expensive little thing to do, but yeah, whatever. I'm only going to probably be here once, and it's really neat. So I hope you guys enjoy this. You can see all these like nicer houses and stuff. A lot of solar panels too. Good on them. That is smart. In case anybody's curious what our journey has been today. So we flew in, the airport's over there-ish, and then overnight I kind of walked over to there, stayed there. This morning, that was the French area right there, and then we walked all the way up here to the gondola thing. I like to walk. I may not look like it, but I like to walk. You can see there's a couple of islands way out in the distance. Those are actually islands of Puerto Rico, so that's still the U.S., but it's no longer the U.S. Virgin Islands. Like the one way out there that you can kind of see in the thin, that's an island that just sits off the coast of Puerto Rico. So you just go a little bit further and you hit mainland Puerto Rico right over there. But, you know, St. John is actually behind us, and St. Croix is like way out there. And the British Virgin Islands are way out there. While I'm up here, I felt like I should get a drink, but I don't drink alcohol, so I wanted to get something special. This is a St. John Brewers Virgin Islands root beer. Our time at the top up here has come to an end. Now I'm gonna go back down and make my long journey way back out there and go back to the hotel, because I think we're kind of done for today. So as I leave this section, I'm just kind of thinking like, this was a really cool view. Basically, so what you're paying for mostly when you're in there is the view. There isn't much else there. There's some stores and things like that, but nothing super exceptional. Although I did get a little bit of I got a couple bags of coffee, because this is part of one of the few parts of the U.S. where we're actually in the coffee belt, so they can actually grow their own coffee here. So I don't know how much of that they actually do, but I got some, because why not? But aside from having that and that root beer, which incidentally was okay, it was nothing special. I've had better root beer. I've had worse root beer. It was fine, but it was unique to this place. Or at least it's brewed on St. John's. But anyway, yeah, so a little expensive, but you're really just doing it for the view. So it's possible you know these islands for another reason, which is the Pirates of the Caribbean story, the Disneyland ride, the movies, whatever. All that stuff is really based on these islands, and to their credit, they know how to make money here. They know what people want to see, so they embrace the tourism. As I walk and sweat, I think I've kind of done St. Thomas like in a day, which, to be honest, I was warned about that. I was told by a lot of people who have been here. Yes, I actually know a bunch of people who've been here. They all said, like, you can really, St. Thomas is just the one in the middle. Like, all the cool stuff happens on St. Croix or St. John. I'm kind of done for today. I've walked all around, whatever. But tomorrow I'm going to try to make an attempt to get St. John, because that's the easier of the two, because it's like an $8 boat ride.
Normally, I would go find something, you know, something completely different. But we have a small problem. Like, everything is closed. I guess because it's Sunday and it's a holiday weekend, so not much is open. But, like, the only thing that's open, other than, like, fast food, is the same place we went today, you know, the French bistro place. I'm thinking, why not? We'll get something different.
So they have the dinner menu out now, and you guys know me if you saw the Dallas video. You take me to a French place and it's got crawfish etouffee, done. That is the decision. Here we go. I'm not used to seeing so much shrimp in a crawfish etouffee, but hey, why not? Live it up. So I mixed it all up because I'm a heathen, but I swear I just love doing it that way. This is very good. It's more buttery than I'm used to etouffee being. I really like it though, and I'm actually not used to having a shrimp in it either, but I think that, not surprisingly, it really adds a lot. Highly recommend it. This is good. So as I process it more, I realize what it is. It's like a spicy, buttery kick. It's really, I haven't had anything like this. It's really, really good. If you like crawfish etouffee, man, this is a solid one. Food was really good, and they were cool enough to make me a coffee at 9 p.m. That's how you know this is a solid place.
Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on part 1 on St. Thomas. The next video, I will be going to St. John, and the adventures will continue. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description for all the social media stuff. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Patreon. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.